we're starting a campaign later this month. We're going from the southernmost part of California all the way to the uppermost part of California. We're doing a campaign that people haven't seen before because not only are we blending politics, but we're blending politics with entertainment, we're blending politics with different industries of California, agriculture, real estate, automotive, energy. Am I missing something? Tech. Because these are the people that California are made of. It's not just made out of politicians. Marcus and Jason tell me I'm a politician. I don't see it. I'm a businessman. But California is about business. It's not about only politics. Because people need money for their kids, they need money for their schools, people need money, and people are leaving California because they're being priced out. So not only do people need the reasons to come back to California, we need to prevent people from leaving California. But it has so much opportunity here that we absolutely have to take advantage of. If we don't do it, who the fuck else is going to do it? And that's the way I look at it. And I don't know a lot of people, but I know a few people. And I know a few people who have some leverage and some power. And I'm like, man, what the fuck are you doing? They don't give a fuck. It's like, this is weird. They will literally look at somebody in their face while their fucking kid or their wife is starving and they won't do anything for them. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. So anyway, make a long story short, because I don't really talk a lot. Don't look at me in my face and tell me, oh, I'm with you, X, I'm with you, X. And I'm like, okay, come and you don't come, lose my number. I don't play that shit. Like, I'm serious about this, and I want people in my world who are serious about it as well. If you're not serious about it, I'm completely okay with it. I've lost, people in this room know, I've lost people who are on this campaign that I've encouraged to help us have lost people because they're coming on board with this. And I'm like, man, if it must be this difficult, there's something to it. There has to be. If anything comes too easy, it ain't worth it. Mm-hmm. If I meet a girl and she come home with me the first night, I'm like, oh man, maybe you're not gonna. Sure.
Or maybe that was your only option.
Oh yeah. but for me, I can't say thank you enough for the people who have came down. David, especially, raise your hand, David. Yeah. Because today wouldn't happen if it wasn't for David. Because David has a podcast. What's the name of the podcast, David?
California Unfiltered.
Say it with your chest.
California Unfiltered.
Yeah.
So David came down. He drove hours for his podcast to do this. And then this week we have Politico magazine coming up.
Wednesday.
So there must be something there. Marcus and Jay, they've been on. Yes. What's the dude? The white dude?
Will McCarthy.
No, not him. The one, Tucker. Yeah, he's done Tucker Carlson. Like, this shit is like there's a lot of movement to this. It's a lot. And for me, who's late?
Welcome.
Hey, Ashley. Yeah. So for people who don't understand the gravity of this, I'm going to put it to you as clearly as I can put it to you. I've said this before and it sounds cliche. What's your alternative? I mean, you could either stick on the path that we're presenting right now and see what happens.
What we got about Trump?
I'm not even going to say that name. But I'm just saying, you can stick with the path that you're given right now, or you can come over to a side and fuck with people who really care about what your thoughts and your concerns are. Not only just for you, but for your mother, your father, your kids, your grandparents. Because that's what it's all about. California is a mixture, it's a gumbo, it's a lasagna of people. So it's not like other states who just have like one, no, I don't want to say one, but have just a predominantly one culture. But it's just as a blend of everything.
Melting pot, it's a I.
Even so, when you said when you came from Detroit and you said, "Oh, y'all," there's no y'all. You just us now. Because what separates you from us? You're here now, so that's who you are. You're a Californian. Or Jason, what do you call him? A Californio?
Californio.
Yeah. So this is serious business for me, and it's not about politics. I know people say, "Oh, you're in politics." I don't subscribe to that shit. This is business for me, because people need to make money to support their families. But I don't care what you are, green, purple, periwinkle, I don't care what you are, gender, age, it doesn't matter. People need to fucking support their families, and there's so much support that the government is drawing away from us. Cool, fuck it. Then our job is to bring money, resources, and everything else back to California. If the government don't want to do it, fuck it, we do it ourselves. That's what I look at. Who's next?
Amen to that.
Amen. Thank you, Dr. X. Now we're going to hear from our founders, Jason and Marcus.
Woo!
Round of applause, let's go.
Well, thank you everyone for showing up. Thank you. Yes, I will.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That wasn't for you. I was talking. You're fine.
Oh.
I
thought I was being invited to take the comfiest seat in the house. Oh, silly me. No, Jay, work for a living, damn it. That's what they say.
Let's get to it.
So, thank you all for coming. It's great to see everyone here. About 10 years ago, I started in on a journey. A journey that I swore to myself I would never, ever in my life, this, the next, or the next 100, would I ever embark on such a quest as anything political. And then I met Marcus. Now, I knew about California being its own country at one point in time. I learned that when I was a kid in my school, because I fortunately went to private school, where the state didn't get to say, no, you can't teach that. But that is the reality. That is our truth. Most of California's youth do not know that before the United States of America came in and annexed us, with their military, with bloodshed on both sides, Americans died fighting Californians. The wealthiest man, the wealthiest person at all in all of California. What was his name, Marcus?
Alexander Lebensdorf.
And what race was he?
He was African American, as we know the term today.
You better watch out, brother.
And the United States, after taking California, quickly assumed that man's wealth.
And
Why?
introduced segregation.
Because he was of a different skin color. Now, fast forward a couple hundred years, and we're looking at pretty much the same thing. If you disagree with the Great Orange One, they might come for you. In fact, they've even stated that they don't care if you're a citizen or not.
Yep.
Thank you.
Not only that, but they just, was it this morning, yesterday morning, began the process of repealing segregation of schools.
Yeah.
What?
They are on the path to re-segregating schools throughout the United States of America.
See this? All black basketball teams?
Yeah. I know who my money's going on.
It's supposed to not be a good thing.
Well, so in these times, when we're looking at what really does appear to be a repeat of history, we are faced with the option. Do we continue on with the path that we've been given? Hey, go trudge through this trench of feces and enjoy it. Or do we say, you know, that doesn't sound enjoyable. We know that we've got plenty of green grass and beautiful trees and all sorts of different types of habitat here in California. We don't have to go trudge through a trench of shit if we don't want to. So, I decided 10 years ago, I don't want to. Don't want it. Don't want none of it. I wanted to be president of the United States at one point. 10 years ago, that changed. 10 years ago, I met Marcus. I learned the legality about secession and the fact that it actually is legal as long as you do it a certain way, which we have been painstakingly careful to maintain. because we want to actually see this thing through. We want to actually have it happen. So, my question to everyone here, and anyone who might hear these words at any point in time in the future, are you ready?
You better believe it, buddy.
That was hot. Okay. Whew. We've been working together for 10 years. When he started, I was the boss. He didn't know anything. I taught him everything. But on CalExit. He taught me stuff about life. There was a few years ago where things got really dark. And I was thinking about quitting. And it was this guy who said, I don't know how we're going to get through this, but I'm here and we'll get through this. Just stick around, we'll figure it out. That's the road. I'm going to do the really hard thing. I want to sell you on the fact that you're living in an existential crisis right now. Right?
You don't have to sell us. You don't have to sell us.
So, I mean, yeah, well, just this is how I wind up, right? So, we've gotten calls from everybody. We've gotten calls from women, from black people, from brown people, from Muslims, from LGBTQ, from transgender, almost everybody. And as I like to point out, if you're none of those groups, Pete Hegseth said at his confirmation hearings for being Secretary of Defense, if given the order to gun down protesters, would you take it? I choose to not answer the question. They deported a baby with cancer? They're trying to repeal integration? They're trying to remove birthright citizenship? Here's a little story I like to tell. There was this thing called Crystal Knocked. Who knows what Crystal Knocked is? Yeah. Okay. Crystal Knocked means the night of broken glass. So, there was this place called Germany in the 1930s. There was a guy called Adolf Hitler. And he wrote a book saying, I'm going to do all this horrible stuff. But not everybody believed him. They thought, he's not really going to do it. It's just talk. He just wants to win an election. He wants to get people riled up. Come on, bro. He's not going to round up everybody. Come on, bro. That's ridiculous. That's never happened in German history, ever. That's a ridiculous concept. You're being silly. Then there was a thing called Kristallnacht, where they came in one night and they smashed the windows of every Jewish-owned business. And the cops did nothing. The cops watched it happen. Now, nobody died, right? People were not even really beaten up. And so you had two groups of people who were Jewish in Germany, and they said this. One group said, it's not that bad. Yeah, they said some kind of stuff. They're not really going to round us up. They're not really going to do this. They're not really going to do that. I don't care if they said it. They can't do it. It's so extreme. Relax. It's just words. It's just talk. Can't you be less of a snowflake? Can't you calm down? Why do you take this so seriously? Why? It's just words. I'm joking. All of the people who said that died. Then there was another group who said, oh my God, we better get the hell out of Dodge. I know it's not as bad as it could be, but this has never happened before to Jewish people in Germany, although there were bad things. This is a whole new level of bad. And this guy's talking as a whole new level of bad. And I don't want to wait to see how it develops. All of those people escaped. They had kids and grandkids. So I want to come back to now. Donald Trump, when he has his inauguration ceremony in the Republican Party, he has a press box. Now, you can have anybody in your press box. This is where I'm going to be nominated to be the Republican president. Who does Donald Trump choose to have in his press box at his inauguration ceremony? Anybody know? Jason Aldean. Anybody know who that is? Perhaps you've heard of the song, Try That in a Small Town. It features white people in fights with minorities. It is filmed in front of the last courthouse to hang a black man dead. It's featured in 3/4 of the video. Jason Aldean was asked, and he goes, whoops, I didn't know, no one told me. We're just an accident, mistake. By the way, Jason Aldean the year before dressed up like Lil Wayne, including coloring his face in the color black. But we're supposed to believe that his music video that did this was just an accident. Nothing to see here, guys. Come on, relax. Just Just words. It's a music video. Chill out. So Trump has Jason Aldean and his wife in his press box and nobody else. Just words. Calm down. Then he says, you know what? I want to reenact something called the Eisenhower deportation ban. I think it's great, and I want to redo it again. The technical name for the Eisenhower deportation ban was Operation Wetback. That's the N-word for Latin people. Why are you saying it's a great plan and you want to redo it? And now we have people in El Salvador prisons and babies with cancer deported? Maybe because that's what they did in Eisenhower's time. They kicked citizens out. They didn't care. They literally saw Latin people, saw their citizenship, said, who cares? Get up. They even kicked out Russians. And then he hires J.D. Vance. Does anybody know how J.D. Vance won his election? He ran a television commercial that said, do you hate Mexicans? I shit you not. When he won that election, guess who called him within 5 minutes? Donald Trump. Anybody know who Stephen Miller is? Yeah.
Yes.
So the Congressional Hispanic Caucus listed one person as an avowed white supremacist, Stephen Miller. Donald Trump comes into power, that guy's put back in charge of immigration. So I want to tell you, does that give you good feelings? Hey, I'm just hanging out with Jason Aldean. He just made a mistake. Calm down. Relax. It's a music video. Yeah, I said I liked Operation Wetback. Well, I'm just talking, bro. You're at the point where you're going to fall into one or two categories. That's way too far. And we need to do something. Or relax. Chill out. Chill out. It's cool. Let's just talk. Time for you to decide. And I will also point out, when Hitler came about, I've had a lot of people go, oh, Trump's bringing economic progress. So did Hitler. Living standards for the average German person rose under Hitler. So did housing standards. They also had universal health care, universal education. They even had yacht tours. He still launched the world into a war, got 40 million people killed, and committed a Holocaust. So what's it going to come down to? They're playing the same book. I mean, Elon Musk goes from my heart to yours twice on TV. And then he has a tweet the next day saying Hitler didn't kill all those people. That's Holocaust denialism by definition. This guy's on board. How many signs do you need?
You better preach it, Marcus.
If you're not upset, why should people be upset? I'm scared. All right, now my mom, who's Latin, voted for Trump for economic reasons. And then after he was voted in, 2 weeks later, she goes, we should probably update your ID. Why, Mom? Well, you know, we're Mexican, you know. You're having a reflection on your horrible decision? How many people have voted for Trump and gone, oh my God, I saw the Latin woman out of California. She goes, I voted for him and I thought he was just going to get the criminals, and then he took my husband, who's done nothing. That guy's probably going to die in El Salvador.
Yeah. I was just on a plane and they're now like calling people's names and they're pulling them off and deporting them.
There you go. What happens to them? And what happens if you die in that prison?
They've never even lived in the places they're taking them.
Right. And so now we're looking at removing citizenship.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at making it where a psychologist could list you as clinically insane because you have Trump derangement syndrome. If you, I'm not joking. Look it up. Yes, you complain about Trump too much. You seem upset. Can't you calm down? Can't you not talk about him? No, I can't. I'm afraid the whole country's going to go into fire. You have an insanity. And now I need to declare you insane. And now I can list you as prevented from certain jobs and certain access because of your political opinion. See how it works? Hitler laid out everything in the book. They just didn't believe him because it was so bold. Time for you to figure out what side of Crystal Knox you're going to be on. By the way, here's a last minute thought. I've told JC, I've told Dr. X. Let's say we're on a yacht. The water comes up 1 inch 1 year. Fine. The next year comes up another inch. Third year comes up another inch. Fine. But one day, 1 year, that water comes up to the deck line. It's lapped up against your sheets. And I turn to you and I go, can we at least have a conversation about building a life raft? And you say, idiot, no. That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. How many people buy homes without insurance? How many people go sailing without a life raft? How many people rest the future of their children and their grandchildren and their current livelihood on a, I hope it works out? So, the water's laughing up at your feet. We're saying, can we have a conversation about a life raft? That's it. How is that anything but the most logical decision you can make at this point? I'll leave it there. Thank you.